Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about being an invisible male in the West and what I mean by that. Stick around. Alright guys, I'm here in Valencia Plaza and Negros Oriental, and you can see behind me there's actually some kind of photo shoot going on. So we got some beautiful scenery behind me for you guys, so maybe you won't even pay attention to what I'm saying. But what I mean about this, and I'll start off with saying I had lunch with my friend Ryan, who's from America, and we were talking a little bit about how you get to a certain age in the West and you virtually become invisible. And there's a few different aspects of that, and the first part is age related. And even me, when I came out to the Philippines in my early 40s, but before I had left, I was already kind of starting to feel the effects of that, becoming the invisible male. And what I mean by that is, for female companionship, you're really you get to that age and you're no longer attracting 20s and 30s, and the rest of who you're attracting is really who you don't want attracted to you anyway. So really you become almost invisible to the opposite sex. And also, and depending where you live, there's going to be people who will fight me on this in the comments, but there is really a level of unfriendliness in the U.S. and other countries as well, not just the U.S. But you walking down the street, if you were to say hello to every person you saw in the United States, wherever you're from, the majority of people would say, about 75% of them wouldn't even reply, or they would just look at you strangely, like, do I know you? Or why is this guy talking to me? And if you were here in the Philippines and you do that, I would say at least 75% are probably going to answer you and say hi and have a smile on their face when they do that. And so, it's just a totally different perspective and aspect of life over here, with the friendliness and also with the dating. It is just a very strange feeling to have females, attractive females in their early 20s and 30s, look at you and actually be genuinely interested in you. Things perhaps that were unattractive for you in the West, for example, like if you got a big nose, all of a sudden, hey, your big nose is attractive to them. And so it's kind of weird, but yeah, a lot of people really just feel invisible. And here, you kind of have a second chance at life, really. You come out here, you get the friendliness, you get the dating, and it becomes a totally different world to a lot of us, and we're just not used to it. But I remember in the West, virtually nobody really, there wasn't a whole lot of interest. And if you got on the dating app, even again in my early 40s, I would be lucky to have half a dozen girls send me a message. The competition was extreme, and you were vying over girls that really here you would have no interest in. But over there, maybe you're like, okay, this is about the best I can do. I got a 38-year-old with 3 kids and overweight. And in the West, you might be vying for her attention because that's the best there is. And over here, you wouldn't even look twice at a girl, for example, who's 38, a little overweight with 3 kids. So it's really interesting how things change. And it's just a better life. A lot of people that I talk to, we all discuss about coming out here and how different it is, and how much more alive you feel again after being here. There's a lot of things that people can complain about, that people don't like, about the Philippines, and this is not a video about that, but there's a lot of things that will frustrate you. But the things that are positive here weigh very, very heavily, especially for most of us foreigners, speaking English, the dating, girls interested in you, the friendliness of the people are some of the top things, and they weigh very heavily. So even though there may be other countries, if you were to write down a list of pros and cons, that may weigh more, you may have more items in the pros section, but the items that you do have in the pro section for the Philippines weigh much more heavily. And so again, we got the beauty con. I don't know what it is. It's a photo shoot or something going on behind me here, and she's on the stairs behind me here. Trying to get a quick look here. Anyway, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Really, in this video, I'd really like to hear your comments and your opinions about it. And another thing I did want to mention is a lot of people may not be aware, but I now have a blog. Some people mix up those two terms, blog and vlog. Blog is written, vlog is video, and it's geointhephilippines.com. And I've got a free PDF for moving out or traveling to the Philippines checklist. I've got Geo's Essentials travel items that you should have when moving out here or coming out here. And also a lot of information and blogs written about different cities and your first 90 days in the Philippines, the best restaurants in Dumaguete, why you should live in Davao, just a lot of blogs and a lot of information on the website, and you guys should go check that out. I would appreciate that, and you can get more information. And I do, when I make videos, I do put out a lot of information, but in the written form, the blogs, I usually am much more detailed. I'm able to write down my thoughts more clearly and think about it, and a little bit more work goes into the process. So check that out, geointhephilippines.com. And anyway, that's about all I wanted to say for today here. Let's flip the camera around. I'll show you one last look of what's going on here, and we'll call it a day.
I heard some of the dialogue.
All right, guys, so anyway, this is Geo in the Philippines. Appreciate you watching. Questions, comments, comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about, do you still feel invisible? Or do you feel invisible being out in the West? And how do you feel if you've visited the Philippines or if you live here in the Philippines? Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Take it real soon.